So why did you decide to come to New Zealand to study?
Well, first off, I've heard a lot of good things about New Zealand, how it's so beautiful. And yeah, and for me, I've decided to take up tourism, and I've always wanted to travel abroad and live abroad. So New Zealand seemed to be like the perfect place to go to since tourism is the biggest industry in the country. So and I've always wanted to visit the place. So might as well, shoot two birds with one stone, go to New Zealand and study tourism. It's like the perfect combination. So I'm here.
Fantastic. So what made you decide on ITC as where you wanted to study?
Oh yeah, well, obviously, I mean, it's won a lot of awards, so like the reputation is there. So and I've heard good things. It's been recommended by my agent when I went here. Like ITC, if you want to study tourism, you have to go to ITC. And yeah, and true enough, when I got here, I mean, it's a given. The kind of education that you get from ITC is really good. But then for international students like me, it's like this. It's the support system that you get from the school that's really important. Like for an international student like me, I don't know anyone in New Zealand pretty much when I came over. I don't have any family, and that's what you get when you study in ITC. They make you feel like a part of a family. It's something that you need more than anything else when you're alone in a different environment. So aside from the education that you learn, you get that feeling of security and like that closeness to other people that you really need when you want to survive in a different environment. So yeah, education plus that security of being part of something is very important. I got that from ITC.
That's great. So what are probably the favourite things you learned when you're studying here?
Well, for me, I loved my IATA course. It's because, well, I have a thing for numbers. And I think IATA, it was like really practical because I took level 5. And yeah, and IATA was part of level 5. So for me, what you learned in IATA, like, it made you aware of like the different train systems apart from the airfares and ticketing. So it's very relevant to what you want to do after you graduate. So you learned a lot from it.
So just lastly, what are kind of your highlights for the past year? Like, are there certain things that stand out that you did at the college, or?
Oh yeah, well, because in ITC we have a monthly student event. I remember joining a talent competition. I won. And yeah, so I got to do the bungee jump as a prize. So it was pretty cool. So I jumped off the harbor bridge, and I was able to participate in Trends. So I actually got to meet the Prime Minister during Trends.
Wow. Cool.
And yeah, in September, yeah, I was featured in the New Zealand Herald doing Poi. So that was like really big. It's like I was just 6 months in New Zealand and I'm on the paper. That was really good. That was really good. And of course, yeah, I finished the course on time and actually finished with distinction. That's really good. That's like highlights of my stay. Like that's just 1 year. So many things happened. It's just crazy.
That's fantastic. Love your paper.